Oh, the trials of parenthood. So the scary tornado, and we see mykelty and Tony in the truck with the kids in the back seat in their car seats, and the hail, you can hear it hitting the truck. You know it's denting their very nice truck. It's like, oh. And then you see the hail hitting, and they're remaining calm, but they don't know what to do. And I had a similar experience. I don't think that it showed exactly how scary that is. You're in a state you don't know. You know you're headed north or you're headed east, all right? You're on a highway. And because of the storms, basically there's no satellite, right? There's no satellite because of the clouds. So the phone's not really working, all right? Okay? And I mean, you might be able to call somebody, but you can't look up any, now we'll get back into that with Christine, but there's limited. And then you turn on the radio, and the radio says, oh, well, a tornado just touched down in Greene County. A tornado just touched down, 3 tornadoes touched down in Durham County. And you're like, what county are we in? There's no sign to tell you, right? Like once in a blue moon, you will see a sign, if that says what county, and it's always so weird because they always say, you're going past these exits. It doesn't say what county you're in. The exit says, this town or this city. And you can't just get off at any exit, especially in farmland, because if you get off, it might be 12 miles before you get to a gas station. There might be just farms. So it's not like you can just get off. You want to get off where there's a Wendy's, there's a hotel, there's, that's where you want to get off. And so you don't know what to do. And when we were driving, we did not know. I was heading north in North Carolina, and there were all these tornadoes, and we heard them on the radio. And are we headed towards the tornado? Are we headed away from the tornado? It was raining very hard. It was hard to see. And then the sky was black, and it's like, well, if we hear the train, we're getting over, because that means the tornado's coming towards you. We're getting out of our car and laying in the ditch is all you know what to do. But to get out of your car when you don't know where you're at, and then try to get back on the highway when it's pouring and there's all this traffic, and you have to make a decision to just keep going, because you don't know if you're near the tornado or not. Now that hail, I never went through that. That didn't hit my car. But it was scary enough just to not know, not know what was going on. And it was like not really any way to figure it out. You're just like, it's different if it's your state and they say, oh, this touched down in Lee County. Okay, well, I'm not in Lee County. I'm okay. or oh, it touched down in Sarasota County. Okay, all right. But oftentimes in Florida, tornadoes develop like that. So you go to bed at 11 o'clock and there's no tornado warning. And then at 2 in the morning, your phone goes off, but it's too late to go anywhere, right? You're stuck. You're stuck in your house. So yes, I guess I am familiar with tornadoes. And I don't think that they were pretty calm getting through it because they didn't want to scare the kids. But it is a very scary thing. When she says we didn't know if we were going to die, she really meant that. I think mykelty really meant that. So speed dating. We skipped to speed dating, and Mary, it was 2 days ago, and she matched with Ron, but she, hasn't been in communication with him. And they're going to do a painting night. Okay. And I'm like, is this dumb? Because this sounds kind of dumb. So there's some video of a grocery store, and so now they're all going to paint eggplant because that's compared to men's anatomy. Stupid, huh? It sounds like, well, it doesn't really sound like a whole lot of fun. I want to paint something I can put in my house. I'm going to a paint store. Anyway, so that's just me. Of course, I'm like, not of the 20 or 30 year olds generation. And neither is Mary. That's what's weird. It's just like she didn't experience any of that, so she's going through it again. I don't know. She starts talking to Ron, to the girls. Now, the girls were the 2 ladies that she went to that very nice restaurant. Now, I don't know what it was outside. It was like a tea outside. I don't know where it was at, but it was very pretty. They went there and she talked to them about her, you know, splitting up with Kody, and they're like, hey, it's about time. Anyway, so they were there, and then Amber, which you've seen her if you ever watched Mary do her LuLaRoe stuff, you know, you see Amber once in a while, and then Jen was there. So, you know, she starts talking about them, and then you know, they're going to show the last painting. The one lady, I can't remember her name, but anyway, she's like, my painting's last, so they're going to unveil them one at a time. So then it jumps back to Kody and Robyn, and they're packing the house. They're preparing to move when they find the house. The move is about Garrison's death. You know, they just, Kody just, you know, went through too much bad things in that house, and he wants to move. Okay, back to mykelty. So Christine speaks. Tony and mykelty do make it to the hotel, which was, you know, I don't know, was it a best restaurant? I don't know where it was. But anyways, they make it to it. But then they're under that awning. And it's like, no, you do not get under the awning. I mean, yes, I was still handling. I wouldn't want the hail to hit the kids. But you do never go under an awning if there's a tornado. You know, that's what I want. I was like, and they did that. I was like, no, that's the first thing to fall. Anyways, so funny. Anyway, so then in the morning, Christine and David go to get coffee, and for whatever reason, they take their truck. And there's like these, she said there's like 5 craters in the windshield. And David is kind of bummed because Tony said he missed it by he missed the tornado by like 40 minutes. David wants to chase tornadoes. Dave, come to Florida. I promise you, you will not want to chase tornadoes. You'll be like, anyway, back to Kody. Kody, a big family, and change happens. When you have a big family, change happens. So, whatever. I don't know. Again, they're packing, they're getting the house prepped. The real estate guy from Kody Pass comes over and says, you know, they got somebody's paying cash for their house, the McMansion, and they're all a go. And I don't know. Kody's eyes are really wide open. They're like, as he's talking to you, he's like this. And his hair is pinned back. I'm pulling my hair back as I'm saying it. Get the cash offer in the house. Robyn is smiling. You know what? It's nice to see her smile. I mean, like, yeah, hey, you can smile once in a while. So she is happy. And she's there laughing. She's smiling and laughing. And it's amazing because we never see her do that. She's always like, anyway, the table. Kody loves this table. Robyn hates this table. Kody's style is masculine. Woohoo! That's not surprising, right? And Robyn's style is old world. I don't know. Their pictures don't. The pictures don't show either one of those things. The pictures on the walls don't seem to match those two styles. But anyways, that's what's going on there. So now, plural marriage is part of the decision at the house. And, you know, back a long time ago in Las Vegas, Robyn put an office in her house, and she said, you're going to help me make every single decision. And none of the other women did that, and they could have. But I seem to remember that Christine gave up her garage and made it a wrestling rink or whatever, made it a wrestling mats all over the place for the kids and for Kody to help train them, you know, help them learn how to wrestle. So I guess that doesn't matter. That doesn't count because it wasn't an office. So, and you know, there's sure a lot of explanations by Kody, and Robyn's happy. And back to the painting party. Now, so the Jen's, Mary's picture was kind of like something you actually could hang. It had an eggplant on it. It was like a wooden board, and it had like, you know, words like dinner time or something. I don't know what it said. But anyways, it was kind of cute. You could put it in your kitchen or something. And then Jen's picture was, she drew the statue of David, and she put the eggplant there down where the fig leaf should be, I guess. I was like, all right. Then the other lady, she made this beautiful kind of splotchy eggplant, and it was really nice. And then the last but not least was this picture, and this woman did like Kody, and his eyebrows are like this. And his eyebrows are all funny, and his hair is all funky, curly. But you knew it was Kody. It was funny. And then she had the eggplant, and then she had like a rooster, So obviously there's that connotation. But it was so funny, and I didn't really think it would be funny, but it really was. It was really a cute scene, and I don't know. I thought it was good. And they also did ask, during all this stuff, they asked, what does the eggplant mean? And Janelle's like, my kids say, don't use that, Mom. Which I think is funny, because my kids do that to me. They'll be like, Mom, no, Mom, no. Like, I'm like, what? What? It's an eggplant. Why? So, but anyway, no, they didn't do that exactly for the eggplant, but you know what I mean. Like, I'll say something, they'll be like, no. So anyway, but Janelle didn't see why Kody always needs to move, and Mary was like, oh yeah, well, he's very social, he needs to move. I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure. And Kody's still moving, and again, all the reasons to move, it's just too much pain. Now, honestly, this episode was boring. This was a boring episode. Robyn was depressed, and I guess, I don't know, about something. And Serenity with the new house. And again, Kody's heart's broke, and I need a new beginning, and, so much has changed. And Christine saw it on social media, and so did Janelle. And, or no, Christine and Mary both saw it on social media. And Robyn and Kody, they don't answer the question. Like the producer says, well, do you miss the family helping you move? And okay, they didn't answer the question, right? They just both smile at each other because they didn't rehearse that. They didn't rehearse it. They don't say anything that they haven't rehearsed. So they just go, well, do we miss the family? They don't know because they haven't rehearsed it. It's just it's really hard. I think they're impossible. Honestly, I think they're just alike, and I think they're impossible. And Tony talks about the rest of the trip will go smoothly. Well, bump, they get a flat tire on the U-Haul, whatever kind of, their U-Haul van that David's driving. And when you think about it, if there was serious storms, it's very possible that they ran over a nail. They ran over splint wood. They ran over something, and they got a flat tire. I mean, that's very logical, because people were saying they always get flat tires. Well, this time, before they got flat tires, and they showed the old cars that Kody is driving around in his little convertible thing, and the women are driving on bald tires. So yeah, they're gonna get flat tires. And he wasn't worried about the kids' safety. He wasn't worried about the wife's safety. You should, instead of having a fancy